3, 2, 1. So tell me, why have I been pulled out of my meeting? Thank you for coming so quickly, General. We may have an issue with one of the recent deliveries, sir. Issue? I'm going to need more than that. This one in particular. Ah, yes, that ominous black cube. It was collected as it appeared to be made out of an unusual material. It survived a direct hit from a warhead given its location, and yet did not have a scratch. We've determined that its exterior is a carbon molecular mesh designed to efficiently bleed away impact forces and the like. That's very interesting, and I'd love to study it, but that's not the problem. The problem is the radiation signature we've been picking up from it. Radiation. Most of that stuff in there is hot. Why is that a problem? It's not that it's radioactive, but how it's radioactive. Most of the scavenged materials are radioactivated in some fashion, in that the nukes altered the nuclear structure of the materials so as to cause non-radioactive materials to become so. Depending on the material, the radiation coming off of it will vary, but this cube has a signature that doesn't follow what one would expect from such thing, especially given its exterior is mostly carbon. Alright, so it's misbehaving, and this means what exactly? It's not that it's only misbehaving, but it's misbehaving in a very specific fashion. The radiation is very minor in intensity, but the energy level is extreme. The source of it it's not hard to figure out, despite how, well, unlikely that it could possibly be this. This cube appears to contain a little over 7,000 kilograms of anti-iron. Anti-iron? As in antimatter? Correct. Well, the mass of the material is an estimate, but we figured out that the radiation is coming from most of the interior, so it's likely filled nearly completely with antimatter. And we really don't know how it's being contained in there. We could try to cut it open. We have the equipment to laser it open after all, but if we do, well, we'll probably break whatever containment this thing has inside. I'm no scientist, but even I know that is a bad thing. What kind of damage are we talking here exactly? Worst case scenario, total antimatter annihilation. About 10 to the 21st joules of energy released in a moment. That's about more than... Comparing it to Earth, that's more than it puts that everyone on Earth consumes in a year. Or about, 2 million megaton bombs, I think. Give or take a few. I don't think your containment vessel can handle that, let alone the station. We're not at knockout planets, we're not at knock planets out of orbit levels yet here, but yeah, it's kind of scary. But if we were to go off on the surface of a life-bearing planet, mass extinction would be quite likely. I think I want this thing off my station, slate it for Site G, and make sure it's guarded till it's on the transport. Understood. Where was this thing found, by the way? It appeared to be some sort of temple. I think the Ixions were using it as an altar, but this is also right under one of the early strike points in the largest city. It was hard to determine, though exactly what role it had, if any. It could have just been, used as a table or a holy relic or just part of the building. And it's a little late to ask any of them. All right, get it moved, quickly. And don't open it. So,
Intrigue.
yes.
Yes, mystery.
And welcome everybody to Stellar Renaissance, the generic universal role-playing game sci-fi adventure, which I am hosting here, and here are my players. Feel free to introduce yourselves. Who are you guys?
I'm Melek. Well, I might as well start. I'm Melek, and probably a lot of the listeners will probably recognize me, but I'm playing a character called Alex Carter. And he's a kind of streetwise kind of guy, focuses on his skills, likes to talk his way out of situations. He's got a few other little tricks up his sleeves, a little bit of mystery as well, but I'm going to leave it to the game to actually reveal more about him.
Gepwin?
I'm Gepwin. I play video games on the internet sometimes. I am playing a character named Simon Ignatius Xander III, Gentleman Adventurer. We'll be finding out more about him later on. Suffice it to say, he wears a British colonial pit helmet, and that's really all you need to know.
Very dapper.
Excellent. And
I'm Jar, and no one knows me because I don't stream or anything. I'm gonna play a character named Scott, and he's close to a barbarian compared to probably some of the other characters. Yeah, he's mainly just good at surviving, I hope.
So
That's a good hope.
So far we have a gentleman adventurer, his wild man servant, and the private investigator. They're teaming up and they're gonna solve crimes? Question mark. So, go ahead.
It sounds like we'll easily do that. I mean, he'll hit them on the head, and then when they wake up, we'll interrogate them.
Excellent. All right. Well, I got a little bit of an intro for you guys to listen to. So if you'll indulge me for a moment. It's a pleasant morning in the city of Lator. The various skyscrapers fill the sky, stretching up through the crisp, cool air in early fall. The streets are filled with flows of automated vehicles, taking commuters and visitors this way and that. The skies are also filled with aircraft doing the same. In a few months, it will likely snow on this chilly world, even in Lator, which sits on the equator. Centuries ago, it snowed year-round. A millennia ago, glaciers could be seen from Lator. But now, a great green belt encircles the middle of the planet, over 1,000 miles wide at its smallest width. Oceans are slowly filling up in the lowlands, while the highlands around Lator become gardens and farms. In the distance, one can see on the horizon 5 massive structures looming from beyond the horizon. These super buildings each once housed tens of millions of people each, but now only 3 of them are occupied. The other 2 show extensive ruin, the leftover scars of a war that ended decades ago. The devastation of these structures just so extensive that they are yet to be fully repaired. The city lies on the planet Lanton, capital of the Confederacy of Lanton, a massive, many-planet nation-state. The year is 3348, and you, Melek and Jar, have just gone into an elevator, together going up to the 80th floor in a government skyscraper. And it's just you 2. So, get to introducing yourselves to each other. What do you look like? Do you say anything?
Okay. Well, I'm kind of a little bit unkempt. Although my hair's relatively short, I've got plenty of stubble. And I'm wearing a slightly dusty trench coat. It's a modern material trench coat. It's not an old trench coat, but it's clearly not looked after massively. And generally speaking, look clean, but clearly don't really care too much about the way I look. I look fairly, decent looking if you're into guys, but yeah, generally speaking, I'm thinking to myself and generally looking a little bit rough. Don't look like a strong guy. Don't look like a fighter.
And Jar?
He's spent most of his life outdoors, so he's relatively fit. He's got black hair, just black eyes too. He's in all leather just because those were some other clothes that you could find here on Lantern. He's generally quite quiet, so he may be hesitant to reply at times and may not reply the best.
Well,
And yeah.
I'd suggest for the hesitation there, Jar, to work that into the role play as things progress. So remember that and that sort of thing.
Yep.
So you're both going up to the 80th floor. Isn't that weird? Again, there's only the two of you there.
Yeah, it is pretty weird. But generally speaking, Carter, my character, tends to observe and watch things, see what presents itself. So he's gonna sort of eye up this fellow lift occupant, and yeah, fair enough. Gonna just see what progresses.
Jar, do you do anything on the way up?
He's going to just give stone face to the wall with whatever controls for the elevator it has on it.
So you're staring
He's
at
going
the
to try
box.
not to interact too much and disturb anyone.
All right. Well, it's just the two of you, but all right. So uninteresting ride up. The elevator bings and the doors open. What do you do?
Okay, well I'm gonna head out to where I'm headed,
All right.
because I ain't wasting my time.
All right. You are both looking for the office of Reza Khan.
Okay, are there any signs about in the hallway?
Yes. Are you guys on the office map now?
Yes, I can see that.
All right. So feel free to move you guys around. The
I
office.
like how jar is actually a jar on the map. Damn it, man. Find a portrait.
So the sign by the door immediately in front by the elevators there says in big letters on it, Reza Khan.
You mean that one now?
Yes. And there's like a assistant to the undersecretary of this, that, or the other thing of colonial affairs. It's a long, kind of pointless title.
Okay, remind me a moment the exact reason why I'm here.
You were informed by your friend Albus that there was a job here that could be useful for one of your other
Yes.
activities.
Yes.
And all that coming back to you now?
Yeah, that's coming back to me now. I'm remembering.
All
Okay.
right, it's up to you if you share that information with the rest of the group. So I don't want to spoil
Yeah,
too
I mean,
much.
well, it's one of those things where I like a little bit of mystery, but there's no point keeping massive secrets. When it comes around to it, people will find out. It's not a big deal. We're all part of the same party, behind the scenes. So yeah.
All
Is the door like glass? Can I see into the office, or is it like a opaque?
It appears to be a like a foggy glass. Might be one of those deals where like they can push a button and it becomes clear, but
Okay.
right now you can't see much through it other than vague shadows.
Okay. If there's a button to press to alert whoever the occupant, then I'll press it. If not, I'll knock on the door.
All right, there is a button.
Right.
So bzz. The door does in fact go from foggy to clear, and you can see inside the office. And there's a guy in there, and he motions for you to enter.
Okay. I will. I'll enter.
All right, Char, what are you doing?
So I was offered this situation to get some money, and I'm just kind of looking for the signs that have some of the names that I was suggested to go to.
Yes, and right there is Resident Cons, and that's one of those names.
Yep. So he sees this, and he remembers, he goes up to the door, and he tries to mimic what the man before him just did.
The fellow inside seems a little confused, but he also motions for you to enter. All right. So you are now both in a very plush-looking office. There's shelves with books, plants, cabinets. There's even like a liquor cabinet, obviously, on the left side there. The man behind the desk is very, very well dressed, and he's also very, very handsome. And he stands up to greet you and says, "Hello there, may I help you?"
Okay, I'm going to walk up to him, and I'm going to hold out my hand to shake his hand and see if he accepts it.
Oh, certainly.
Ah, yeah, my name's Carter. I have a little appointment to speak to you about a job offering.
Yes, I'm Reza Khan, says the man. He has dark hair, dark skin. He's obviously right-handed. And time for the first roll, guys. Give me a roll for perception.
Perception. Okay, so it's a 3d6 under my perception then, yeah?
Yes. So, you can do a basic roll, or you can, use the built-in stuff here.
Well, the built-in stuff, I'm not even 100% sure how that even works. So let's have a little look. Character sheet.
I need to make sure I have everyone's
This is the bit where I slow everything down. My lack of knowledge.
Well, I don't know how to use perception in this anyway. I'm not there, but I don't know. I wouldn't know how to if I was.
Right. Gepwin, generally, your experience with Reza yourself is very similar. So
I'm just gonna roll 3d6. And I'm gonna take my perception and subtract 3d6 from it, and then that should pretty much give me whatever my perception is.
yes.
If I get a 0, then I pass unless there's penalties. Perception. It's one of my little macros I use for the other things.
So I was paying attention. Jar, is that your roll? And Gepwin, is that yours?
Question is this a visual perception or a
should I roll
general perception?
Oh, yeah, Gepwin, go ahead and roll, because you would have had this opportunity as well.
D6.
Oh yeah.
Is it a visual thing that we're
Yes.
trying to perceive? Okay, because my vision is slightly better than all my other senses.
But I got a 12 apparently.
Okay, I rolled 4 under my perception, so I rolled I rolled a 10. So yeah, I got 4 over my perception.
All right.
My vision, anyway.
Simon did not pick up on this, but the other two of you did. It is very subtle, but it's very clear that Mr. Khan here only has one functional eye. The other one appears to be fake in some fashion.
Ah, like a prosthetic without function, or is
Yes.
it an electronic thing? Okay,
Like a glass eye.
that's interesting in this day and age.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, well, since I'm shaking his hand and he knows why I'm here, I'm just going to plunk myself down on one of these seats.
All right. I had to reopen all the character sheets because things are getting weird. Right. Jar, what are you doing?
He's going to hesitantly, obviously, go up to the desk and ask, "How are you?" Just kind of quietly, though. So, how are you?
I am quite well. In fact, I'm quite glad to see folks coming in. Are you here for the job?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, feel free to have a seat, get comfortable. I'll give you the basic spiel. Excuse me. By the way, he is much more smooth than I am at talking just in general. So do take that into account as far as general perceptions of this guy. And he starts off explaining that he's looking for some qualified and uniquely skilled individuals to work with him as a subcontracting team to take care of various miscellaneous colonial office business. In short, they're looking to put out fires, hopefully before they become problems. And recently they had a few vacancies in one of his teams, and so looking to fill in some of the gaps there.
Well, I've got a lot of experience with various things, and I'll pass over. It'll be like equivalent of a CV, I guess, showing some of my history, and anyone who's sort of overseeing this bit of paper will show that I started out with a military history back in the day with an honourable discharge because of injury in intelligence, although it doesn't go into any specifics for obvious reasons. And there's a few other bits and bobs to do with skills, and a lot of it's to do with not physical attributes, but it's more to do with observational stuff. A few other little qualifications and experiences along those lines.
All right, cool. I'm going to roll a reaction roll. Interesting.
You want me to do any kind of rolls for anything?
What kind of skills might be useful for this? This isn't really something like fast talk, to be honest, but
Acting?
acting can work.
Okay, I'll try an acting roll. Okay, acting is a 14. Okay, oh, look at that. I got rolled a 9 in total there, so it's 5 under my actual acting skill, so that was a pretty good roll.
So for having a good approach, I'd say that give me a moment here and double check my readings here.
See, I don't know whether my charisma advantage would play any part in that, but I've got
I am taking that into account. So,
Fantastic.
all right, so that actually gives you enough that he seems generally good with the what he's being presented with here. So you just by using your acting there, you managed to avoid a poor reaction.
Good, excellent. It's always nice to put a good reaction when you're doing a job interview.
All right, Jar, how are you going to apply for the job?
I was going to start out by saying he is quite the opposite. He doesn't have very many, he has close to no official, I guess, achievements on Lantern. But he does start to go on about how he's very good with his hands. Back on his own planet, he did some light electronic repair just to get things functioning again if they weren't working.
Okay.
And he can't really complain about many of the jobs, I guess, that he would be willing to do.
So I'll do anything for this job. In other words. All right, well, I'll do another roll. And you also get a neutral reaction. Because I gave you a +2 for basically being honest, and both you guys, and Melek, you got a bonus for your charisma, and Jar, you got a bonus for being fit. So you're obviously kind of a big guy. So
so basically, he's eyed you up, and you're fit. You say eye because he's only got one eye.
Oh my god.
Maybe I should stick to just rolling dice instead of actually trying to be funny.
And Gepwin, you already have the job, so you don't have to worry about the reaction roll here. So
Hooray!
Hooray! Don't worry, Gepwin will be here. I'll be a few minutes here. All right. Well, he goes on to explain, a few basic rules. They don't, for this kind of work, you need to be professional. You need to be able to follow instructions. But he also is very keen on you guys being self-motivated, because some of these missions might take you very, very far away from Lantern, the planet, that is. And so you need to be able to sort of work autonomously without him sort of, keeping track of you constantly. What more, he makes it clear that if you guys, say, happen to break the law, if he finds out about it, he has to report it. There's sort of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge there.
Alex will just smile and nod and say, "Don't worry, I'm always very discreet, and I won't be caught breaking the law."
All right. And then he asks, "All right, is there any questions before I, offer you up we'll call it a training exercise?"
Nope.
Do I need any special equipment for that?
Hopefully not. The assignment should be pretty straightforward. Well, first off, we need you to go pick up your number 3 for this mission, and the other part of the mission and the actual part of the mission is a pickup itself. So hopefully there shouldn't be any special equipment, though I will be letting you borrow one of our cars.
Fantastic.
So
I've got no further questions other than the details about the mission.
All right. So first off, you'll need to be picking up a individual that would be it gives your full name. Correct me if I screwed this up. You'll be going to pick up Simon Ignatius Xander III. He is someone else I've also recently hired. He is presently in the Calfoon Wilderness, which is about an hour's drive out of town. The GPS should be able to guide you right to it. I also will be sending down a more exact location for where we think he's at. He apparently went out there for the day. I don't actually know what he's up to. But, once you get a hold of him, you'll be going to do a little bit of investigating. A colleague of mine, or former colleague of mine, seems to have run off with a bit of equipment. Let me grab something real quick here so I make sure I'm not screwing up the names, and all my windows are going crazy here. Give me one. There's the NPCs. Ah, yes. All right. The colleague is her name is El Shardata. She is a individual that used to work for the the colonial administration, and about a couple of weeks ago decided to leave her position. Willingly, we didn't force her out or anything like that. She just didn't feel like she was a very good fit for us. Unfortunately, on her way out, she may have run off with a piece of equipment.
Oh, what sort of equipment are we talking about?
A android.
Oh.
I don't know how familiar you are with the various android types, but it is a mobile android. She usually goes by Mab. She is not volitional. She doesn't have sentience or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about that if you're not keen on that sort of thing. But she is very useful equipment for the colonial administration, and we kind of like her back.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah. Don't worry about it. We'll do what we can to get your little errant droid back.
All right. Reza pulls out a what looks like a pen, and it's actually a cell phone because it's the future. It's
future.
You kind of pull it over the sides, and it's like creates a thin membrane that you can poke at and talk on and things like that. But also, like modern smartphones, has all sorts of computer functions and everything like that. All the information about Shardata is in this, as well as her last known whereabouts. We don't currently know where she's at, but we do believe she's in the purple district of the city. But again, we don't actually know.
Okay. She got any friends or family she might have hidden with? Got a present address in there, I assume?
Yes. The last known address, besides the our offered up housing when she was working for us, is on. Let me check my notes here. Actually, I didn't put down a straight name for that. 3334. Let's say Hafnium Avenue. There we go. Apartment 15.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we'll pick up Simon and head over there and see if there's anyone who's seen her.
All right. Good luck, and if you need to get in contact with me, feel free to use the phone. It has my number in there. And good luck. Oh, yeah. Oh, and when you find Mab, bring her back here, and we'll take care of her.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Can do that.
All right, cool. So he gets up, offers to shake you guys' hands, and then it's up to you guys what you do.
Okay, well, I'll shake his hand and leave with my new colleague.
I'll do the same.
Okay. So, downstairs again, you are met by assistant, excited-looking man who's like, "Hey, you must be so and so and so and so, and I'm assistant to Mr. Khan. Here's the keys to the car. It's waiting outside."
Cool. I'll take that. I can drive. I can drive a car.
All right.
I suspect it's probably self-drive, but I could drive it if need be.
He mentions that it is self-driving, but you can turn that off.
Cool. On the way down in the lift, because I'm assuming we're heading down and we're gonna have 80 something floors.
Yep.
I'm gonna turn around to my new colleague and hold up my hand and say, well, since we're gonna be working together, I suppose I should introduce myself properly. Name's Carter, and I'll hold out my hand.
I'll return it and shake your hand.
Okay.
I'm Scott. He introduces himself too.
Got. Yeah, good to meet you. Looks like we're going to be working together. You done many things like this of hunting people down?
Certainly not. So this will be a first for me. Have you done many?
Here and there. I've done a few. It's mostly following people to find out where they've hidden things, to be perfectly honest. But this shouldn't be too difficult, I wouldn't have thought. Okay.
Right.
Well, we'll head to the car and we'll see if we can pick up this Simon dude.
All right, cool. Jar, you cool with this?
Yep, I'm just following behind him.
All right. As promised, there is a GPS setup already in the vehicle to take you to the Kalfoon Wilderness, as well as coordinates beyond, a little bit more specific than that.
Okay.
All right.
I'll program him in, take manual control, and I'll drive out there myself because I'm that kind of guy.
All right, give me a driving roll.
I will give you a driving roll.
Oh, you're gonna crash the car, aren't you?
I suspect probably not actually crash it, because it would only if something like crazy happens would it really turn into a crash. I hope I don't crash it anyway, because my driving's not fantastic.
So don't crit, or don't critically fail.
Well, exactly. I'm not going to critically. Well, I hope I don't critically fail. Okay. Well, that's not a critical fail, but I got three above my skill level. I'm not like putting pedal to the metal. I'm not like taking the corners at full speed, chicaning. I'm not trying to handbrake turn to save on time. It's taking it easy, just casual. If obviously someone goes nuts nearby and starts swerving into us, then that might.
Now, lucky for you, almost all the other vehicles on the road are self-driving. So they, despite maybe a few not quite optimal, bits of maneuvering, everyone else moves out of the way, and you avoid hitting any immobile objects.
Fantastic. That's the way I like it. These bloody self-drive cars, they can get out my way.
All right, but that number there, unfortunately, means you take a little bit extra time to get to the wilderness. So
that's fine. Better to be in control than just randomly leave it.
All right, so I got another description here if you want me to read it.
Yeah.
All right. So it takes about an hour and a half to get to the Kalfoon Wilderness, a natural experimentation region where a number of animals and plant life have been released in order to experiment with biosphere building over the years. Periodically, new species are introduced to observe the effects and how they work together or compete. It's large and not well traveled, though there are a few dirt roads that lead off into the wilderness, and the coordinates that were provided suggest to travel down one in particular. The Kalfoon Wilderness is at a lower altitude than Lator and noticeably warmer. In fact, it's almost hot in comparison, and certainly much more humid. The directed-to road, according to the GPS, ends about a half hour later, deep in the wilderness. There's no signs or buildings. The dirt path just ends in bushes and trees. However, off to the side could be seen a clearing just beyond the nearest line of trees.
Okay. Any sign of this Simon guy?
Well, let's find out. Are you on the new map?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, that's about where you're at right now. And I'll go and get your proper dudes set up here.
Okay.
So there's the car. There's some trees.
Fancy.
Yes. And I'm guessing there's fog of war turned on for you guys, right?
I can see all the way down, but I can't see the right-hand side.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, me too.
All right.
Yeah, just the right-hand side of the map's blotted out.
So what's going on?
Yeah, crazy, huh? I'm gonna mutter to myself after I light up a cigarette. Yes, it's probably like a completely mundane cigarette that actually doesn't produce cancer or addiction at all. But hey, you know, he likes that kind of thing.
It's the
and I'm
future.
gonna light that up. It is the future, and he's gonna mutter to himself, "What the hell is this guy doing out here in the middle of nowhere?"
I think as soon as I get out, I'm just going to circle the car a moment just to admire its construction.
I'm going to. Wow, Gepwin, you've got some serious background. What the hell is going on? Someone's like revving 50 cars or something?
Yes. Or probably a motorcycle. This
Fair
would have
enough.
been appropriate a minute ago when you were driving.
Yeah, exactly. It's how rude of them to wait until now.
You know, they were late.
Okay. I'm gonna observe the area and see if I can spot anything out of place while taking another drag on my cigarette.
All right. Then give me a perception roll.
Okay, okay.
Vision, of course. Though I guess if hearing's better too. That's but
Just my vision's the only thing that's enhanced. I've just got particularly good eyes. Well, that was a good roll.
all right. I think, despite the difficulties involved, you could see a bit more of something here.
Okay.
Feel free to look on over there on the map.
What the hell is that?
What is that?
It's like elephant hair. It's like a bush cut like an elephant or something.
Well, I didn't, find something as far as tokens that I liked that quite fit out what I was looking for, but it's certainly a non-Earth originated life form of some sort, imported from some other planet, and it's kind of big, kind of mean looking, has all sorts of teeth and tusks, and blends in very well with the foliage.
Nice.
And
Is it a living thing?
yes, certainly. And it hasn't noticed you yet.
Does it look like it might be aggressive, like a tusks or predator or?
Well, the eyes on the front seem to be kind of close together. But I think, Jar, you might be better at figuring this sort of thing out yourself. Do you have a skill that works for this here? Let's go with Survival Woodlands. Could you roll me that? Jar?
Yeah, just figuring it out.
All right. Yeah, I'll just go and give you a roll. Give me a roll. Your skill appears to be 8. I will give you a -1 because you don't know what the hell this is.
So am I just doing 3d6 again?
Yep.
I think this pretty much is, unless you're rolling for damage, everything's pretty much 3d6 with this.
Correct. All right. You don't know much about this thing at all. You're like, well, that's
As to be
weird.
expected.
So what you guys doing?
Well, as long as it's not being aggressive, then fine. But we're still looking out for that Simon guy. Well, what do we know about this Simon guy? He's not like a weird alien elephant, is he?
Probably not, but
Yeah, as I say, I didn't think that was too likely.
you didn't ask your new boss either.
I figured there'd be just like a guy here, just like I don't know. Well, do I notice? It's not really my environment though. This is like I'm more used to city life, you know. This This green stuff's just, yeah, it doesn't work for me. Just doesn't do it for me, you know.
All right, Gepwin, I need you to give me a roll.
All right, just a normal D3 or 3D6 roll.
Yes. And Jar and Melek also give me a roll for visual perception.
Oh, visual again.
I'm supposed to be shooting for low rolls, aren't I?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, another good roll.
All right, Gepwin. The role that you did was for camouflage, just FYI. Alex, you think you see someone in the bush behind the creature.
Okay. Does it look like he's watching us or watching the creature?
Well, it's a little hard to tell. There's my thingamajig's here. Like back here. Zooming. There we go. Gepwin, you're on the map now.
Hooray! I have appeared.
Oh, right the way down. Okay, he's a little bit off the stream, but trust me, streamy people, he's about there.
Yeah, I see.
By the way, as you're sort of faffing about, as it were, the creature notices you, Melek.
Why does it notice me?
Oh, because it looked at you.
Does it look particularly aggressive?
Well, it starts letting out a low rumbling sound.
Ah, great. I'm just gonna snuff out my cigarette and I'm just gonna back away slowly back towards the car.
Jar?
I don't deal with animals. It's just nah.
I'm gonna do the same while getting closer to Alex, but with a bit more concern on my face.
All right. And so we'll go basic initiative here.
Bloody thing.
So we're gonna do it real simple. We're gonna be basing off your basic speed. So that means that Simon, you are up first. Scott actually hits a 6. I thought it was 5.
Ah.
So Scott, what you doing?
Oh yeah, I'm slow as anything. I'll be last.
Char, what are you doing?
Oh, just here?
Well, yeah, you just go first because you're faster than everybody.
Oh, okay, so I've made my way pretty much back to the front right of the car, and I'm just kind of watching the creature. I'm completely clueless as to what it is, but I am kind of focused intently on it because it's curious.
Okie dokie. Gepwin, go ahead and
Yes.
give me a perception roll to see if you notice the other two guys.
Okay. Roll low. Oh. Is that good?
Wow.
That is fantastic.
You actually see the fabric of space-time. That is how good your sight is right now.
Gepwin, you've been aware of them since before they finished parking.
Before we left the office block in the city.
You've got guys
in
tracking
fact,
us.
I've known where you have been every moment since you were born.
Damn.
Mr. Khan probably gave you a ring on your cell phone a few minutes ago, just like, hey, they're probably going to be there in a few minutes. Keep an eye out for them. And you did, and then this creature wandered up, and well, you were hidden in the bush for a little bit, and
Yes.
it's now your turn.
I'm serving. So the creature hasn't done anything yet?
But it has noticed the other two guys, and it seems to be aggressive towards them.
I'm gonna shoot this fucking thing.
Well, if I had good things, do I see him ready, getting his gun ready?
It is not Alex's turn yet, so you do not know what he's doing.
Is there an equivalent to hold action?
Yes.
Okay, I will do that and continue observing the creature's reactions.
All right, and Gepwin, I'm also going to assume you have your weapon at the ready.
Yes, weapon ready. Loaded with the second ammunition type.
That would be the electronet, right?
Yeah. Let me take whichever one would be most likely to be able to be effective in one shot.
Probably. For this, give me a naturalist roll.
Naturalist. That's 3, right?
Yeah.
No. Ooh.
You think definitely that the tranquilizer dart would be the way to go.
Okay. Tranquilizer dart. Loaded, ready, and observing.
All right. So, that case, it's now the creature's turn. And it has decided that those guys in that car over there, they look like things that shouldn't be in its territory. So it's going to start moving towards you guys.
Is there a law that I'm aware of around here where there's wildlife is protected in some way?
Not really. Though you didn't pick up a pamphlet on the way in to the wilderness, so we'll find out.
Okay. Fine. I mean, I kind of know about criminality, and laws to a point. Actually, no. Criminology is the mind of criminals, not actually whether or not things are illegal. I don't actually have any skills specifically to do with knowledge of laws. Damn it!
So the creature is moving towards you, guys. It's not running yet, but it is intently moving towards you, and it's starting to swing its head around and gnash its teeth.
Well, either we get in the car, make a lot of noise, and get crushed in the car because it'll be a death trap. I suspect. I mean, that's my thought. The car is basically a death trap. Or I just shoot this wild animal because it's like, goodness sakes. Okay, it's like is this thing about to charge at me? I think it probably is.
Well, it definitely seems like it's getting up the momentum.
Fine. I'm just gonna pull out my pistol, and I'm gonna. and the moment it looks like it's building up a charge or getting within range, I'm gonna put it down. So I'm literally just gonna get my pistol out, and I'm just gonna cover it with the pistol.
All right.
If it charges at me or gets within striking range or makes sudden movements, I'm just gonna pop it in the head.
Okay. Then Gepwin, unless you want to act, we're back to Jar.
Let's see. So he's pointing a gun at it, and it started aggressively moving towards them?
Yes.
Okay. So I could probably start tranking it.
All right. So give me a 2-hit roll.
Okay. Is that still a 3? I'm not familiar with this system.
3d6, innate attack
Yes.
is your skill.
Okay.
10. All right, you made it by 3. The creature is not putting up a defense at the moment, so you'll go ahead and be hit. And I am sort of hand-waving this because this is sort of your first combat, guys. So, I'm not going to be factoring in things like range modifiers yet. So this is the semi-cinematic intro.
That works for me.
All right, so you hit. Roll me, what was it, 1d, so go ahead and type in roll, /roll 1d6.
/roll 1d, D.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Roll 1d6. Dyslexia is kicking in. There we go.
All right. You actually managed to get through its damage resistance. So now I get to roll that. All right. I'm going to double check this, but I think your tranquilizer dart is actually quite effective. Give me a moment. Probably should have had this open a moment ago, but
Simon uses Trank Dart. It is super effective.
it's actually just barely effective. If you'd rolled any lower
Bear?
damage,
Oh.
it wouldn't have done
Okay.
anything.
Well, that's not as impressive then. Damn it.
Doo-doo.
Well, I'm probably going to end up... The moment you open fire, I'm pretty much going to be like, okay, fine, we're putting this thing down. I'm going to tranquilize it permanently.
All right. The dart does make contact. It does pierce its thick but not too thick hide, and it starts to wobble. Its motivation seems to be suddenly very sapped.
Oh, well, if it's not actually approaching any further, and then I'm just gonna keep my pistol trained on it in case it makes any more sudden moves towards me, or I don't know, the car. I suppose we should probably look after the car as well.
All right.
Try anyway.
All right. There is going to be one more round before things conclude here. But Jar, do you want to do anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna realize it's probably a bit too late to pull out my pistol, but I'm gonna start to take it out anyway. And I do notice that it is starting to wobble, even though I can't really read the creature very well. And I'm just gonna hold my ground there.
All right.
Because it doesn't look like it's gonna reach.
All right. We're we're back to Gepwin. You hit on the last turn. The tranquilizer dot does have 2 shots if you want to take another.
I may as well.
Right.
Roll to hit. That doesn't look good.
Nope. That exactly makes it though, because your skill is 13, and I'm not factoring in range or anything like that for this combat. So that does hit. Roll me the 1d6 again.
E.
Get 4 or better. Oh yeah, certainly. All right. The combat's over. It's like, oh, I'm gonna fall asleep now, and it falls over and is asleep.
Yay! Thank goodness for that.
Hooray! It's now gone sleepy time. All right, so combat's over.
Combat's over. So free movement.
Yep.
Yay!
Wow.
Right, I'm gonna wander over to it, and my pistol's still out, but it's just casually held in my hand, pointing down, sort of thing. And I'm gonna look over to this other guy, and I'm looking up and down and say, "You Simon?"
Yes, sir. You chaps should be more careful driving into the wilderness. These chameleon pig rhinos can be a bit dangerous when it's mating season.
Ah, so I can see. What the hell are you doing out here?
There's some healthy exercise. You boys were a bit slow. Strong body, strong mind. Hike in the wilderness does you good.
I'll take your word for it, pal. Khan, he says you've been signed up for a little mission with us.
Yes! I thought you boys might need a professional tracker. Gentleman adventurer. Knowledge of 1,000 worlds. An all-around fun guy.
Well, hopefully our next quarry isn't going to be wandering around in the bushes. But if they are, then that's good. It'll be good to have you on board.
Indeed.
Okay then. You finished here, or is this thing gonna be all right here? And I gotta prod it with my boot.
He'll wake up with a bit of a headache and in not too good a mood.
Okay, let's leave it with that.
Now, for the record, it will be out for about half an hour.
Yeah, you did say it was mating season, so there's more.
Yeah. Well, there's one. There's more. Okay, cool. I'm gonna head back to the car then.
All right.
Right, I will follow.
Jar?
Following as well.
All right, cool. So you guys get back to the car, and what do you do?
Okay. Well, we might as well set the GPS to the Purple District on 3334 Half whatever it was Avenue.
Half the
I
amount.
can't remember. Yeah, apartment 15, where this Marb android may have been stashed, but I doubt it very much. I think this El Shadata, I think's the woman we're looking for, isn't she?
Yes. Yeah, that's El Shadarta's previous address, our last known address.
Okay. I'm gonna set the auto drive there, and I'm gonna have a little look at the phone that I got from Khan, see if there's more information about it. So I'll let the car drive itself for now.
All right. Are you going to share this information with everyone, or are you going to keep it to yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah. This is we're all part of a team. So whatever information I find in this thing, I will of course share.
All right. Lucky you guys, you actually looked at the info. It has a picture for El Shadarta. She is, despite the sort of Indian sounding name, she's actually very white. She is listed as having a cybernetic arm on her left arm specifically. She is also. It has a few notes that seem to be just kind of thrown in there, like someone like this is an employment record sort of situation. So it's like, oh, this is something important to know about this person. That they are, someone who's very good at electronics and security, and is maybe not a very friendly individual. They seem to take a lot of joy in getting into fights.
Okay. So we should expect them not to come quietly. I think is probably.
Well, you never know.
I don't know. I'm pretty certain they're not going to come quietly. This is just a gut feeling I have here.
The rest of you guys have any interesting reactions?
What do you think, guys? I think we're going to probably end up in potentially a fight with this girl.
Possibly. Our good friend Khan has been a bit sparse on the information.
Yeah. I mean, it's... But then again, if they had more information, they probably wouldn't need to hire us lot, I guess.
It does sound like it's going to be dirty work.
Official channels.
Okie dokie. Is she good looking? In general, what's her kind of like on the advantages disadvantages scale? Is she?
Elle looks fairly normal, actually. Nothing too particularly pretty about her, but nothing particularly ugly either.
Yeah, she's sort of average kind of. Okay. Fair enough. What information in there about the android? This Marb, is it Marb the android? Mab.
Mab. It doesn't have any pictures, but it does say obvious android as far as the description, comma, pink eyes.
Huh.
So read with that as you like.
Fair enough.
And the specialization for this particular android appears to be biological research.
Biological research?
Yeah.
Oh, not your basic servant bot.
Nope.
Or it serves people in biological ways. Wow. I don't know. I don't know. I just, yeah.
You'll
fine,
have to find
okay,
out
then.
for that for yourself later.
We're not talking about out of session nonsense here. We're keeping this above board.
Yes. Yeah, we're aiming for the PG-13 demographics here.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, biological research. Fair enough. I'm gonna just go over the notes and just commit them to memory as the car's heading back.
All right.
And I'm then gonna, as that happens, I'm gonna lean back towards Simon and say, well, we didn't exactly have a traditional kind of introduction, but the name's Carter, Alex Carter.
Good to meet you, Carter. Name is Simon Ignatius Xander III. But I obviously do not insist on full titles here.
Oh, that's a relief.
I will know.
And your colleague?
Well, this is Scott, and we ended up ending up meeting in Khan's office, actually, accepting the job at the same time.
Quite the interesting man.
Yeah.
Yes, I never knew much about him before he contacted me.
Oh, same situation here, actually. First time meeting him was in that room.
Yeah, well, an old buddy of mine from the military. He passed on the name. I tend to mix up the jobs that I do quite a little bit here and there, contract work, investigations, that sort of thing. So yeah, every now and again I like to pick up something a little bit more official. Keeps the money ticking over.
All right. By the way, it is a long car ride, so if you guys want to do any other sort of get to know each other, this was a perfect opportunity. As well as
The
to perhaps
expositional car ride.
yes, as well as to discuss how to approach the upcoming situation.
I don't suppose those tranquilizers work on people safely, do they?
Oh. I don't know because I didn't make the special rules for this. Probably.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
The tranquilizers would not work on, say, an android, but that's why you have the other functions there.
Interesting.
Yes, I trust the elephant gun here should be able to handle us through most situations, though it is obviously much more suited to the wilderness than the cities.
I'm just thinking about worst case scenario. If this El Shaddata decides to put up a bit of a fight, I mean, I've got my own stuff, but yeah, I'll probably be easier if we've got more than one way of bringing her in without hurting her or killing her.
As it is always very difficult to unkill, so best avoid it if possible.
Absolutely. That's why I have this little number, and I draw a different gun than the one you guys saw previously. And for those of you who notice it is actually a sonic-based weapon. So it's a pistol designed specifically for stunning people. So yeah, hopefully if she doesn't decide to come quietly, we can between the three of us we can bring her in. And I'm just gonna then proceed to check the batteries on it and go through and check my equipment, go through the different flashlights that I have, the pen light, make sure that attachment works on both my pistols. Basically doing general kind of equipment checking at this point. And as well on my little handheld computer that I have.
Cool. Anything else the other two of you are doing? No? Okay.
It's early. It's going to be one of those things. The first session is always the awkward one. I've always found with role plays, especially when you have people that haven't role played in the system before. I mean, I'm new to the system, and yeah, it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be a bit of a stop and start kind of a thing.
Yes, there's definitely a learning curve.
All right. By the way, Jar, about 45 minutes into the drive back, give me a roll.
Like a combat roll?
Just a roll.
Well,
that's not good. Yeah, that's not a good roll. If it's
not at all. Jar, these guys you're hanging out with, something about them makes you feel uncomfortable.
Uh-oh.
Take that as you like, as far as information goes. But just hanging out with them so long, it's starting to kind of get on your nerves.
Well, I feel they've been possibly doing some shady business, of course, due to how they talk and the there's just no filter for the showing off the guns he has, and it does make me a little nervous.
It's non-lethal. well, the second one anyway.
All right, so that's unless there's anything else, we can go ahead and fast forward off to that address you were given.
That sounds good to me.
Very well.
All right, so the car pulls up before a fairly smallish for this city, for Latour, apartment building, and it's in kind of a rundown part of town. What's sometimes called the old city, the Purple District. It's, the oldest buildings are literally about 1,000 years old.
Wow.
Because this colony has been set up for quite some time. And but this building is sort of a bit newer than some of the really old ones, but it's still definitely not in good shape. There's no doorman. The front door, in fact, is missing, so you can just walk right on in. And what you guys doing? I'll have a map for this one, so.
Wow. Seems our employer does not house his employees particularly well.
Yeah, this place has seen better days. Okay, I'm gonna just have a little look around at the outside. It said apartment 15. Is there any obvious way of knowing which apartment 15 would be from the outside? Is there 4 apartments per floor, or do you know what I mean? What's the layout of the apartment block?
From the looks of things, especially peeking inside, you could probably guess that the apartment 15 would be on the second floor. There's also a row of buzzer buttons up at the front door, though it doesn't look like that actually works, and they are organized by floor, and that does appear to be the case for the second floor.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna wander up there. Is there I guess there's nobody who's in charge of the building, like a building manager or anything?
No one obvious.
Nothing obvious. Well, if there's nothing obvious, then I'm just gonna head up to the second floor.
All right, what you guys doing?
Are there people hanging around?
Good question. Yes, there are a few people hanging out, not necessarily in front of this building, but other buildings nearby. As I said, this is kind of a rundown part of town. So there are people that are just we're just going to hang out outside, smoke something, whatever. And, just kind of congregate. It's pretty high density, so sometimes it's nice just to get outside and away from people, so.
But nobody's nobody in the lobby or the building?
No, in fact, it's one of those situations where there's a hallway in and there's apartments right off it right away. Seems to be about 6 apartments per floor. And then a stairway going up.
All right, I'll follow Carter up.
All right, Jar, what you doing?
Probably gonna wander over to the button, give it just a quick tap to see if it does call the apartment.
All right, give me a roll.
That's ooh.
Well,
and you're electrocuted.
The button says nothing.
all right, I just followed them up too.
All right. If you'd gotten a critical failure, it would have given you a shock. Critical success would actually have worked. All right, you guys go up to number 15.
Yep.
And...
Do I have anything that would help me examine the door, since all of my stuff is nature-based?
Well, the door is made out of something at least looks like it's wood. There is a number 15 on there. It is on a little plate, so it is.
I am assuming the door's closed.
It is closed. There is a peephole, but otherwise it's fairly low tech.
Okay. Is there a key? Is there any kind of keyhole or thing like that? And I mean, I know this is the future, but you never know. They might have traditional keyholes.
The doorknob appears to be a fingerprint based unlocking mechanism.
Cool.
Could still be open, but
Sure. Is there is it a really tight kind of is the door really flush with it, or would things be able, very small things be able to get under or through the edges of the door?
Yeah. This is as I said before, a very rundown part of town. It's not well kept, and it's a good possibility that this place has been renovated poorly several times over, and so there is room to perhaps slide something under the door if that's what you're looking for.
I'm not thinking of sliding. I'm thinking of just taking out my small little computer, booting up my SwarmBot software, and sending in a swarm of surveillance bots.
Cool.
Okay, that's what I think I'm gonna do at this point. They're gonna send in. They're technically flyers, but they
can still sneak under.
They can still sneak under and see what's going on there. So I'll just kind of stand to the side of the door, not in front of it, and then I will just order my surveillance bots to go under the door or through whatever gaps there are available, and subtly distribute themselves and give me a picture of what's inside.
Well, I suppose there's a reason you're against knocking.
Well, what we've been told by Khan is she doesn't exactly want to be found. After all, according to him, she stole an android. I don't think that she's going to want to be caught. Besides, she's probably not in there.
If he's going to do breaking and entering, I want to get my net loaded and ready to go in case of a runner.
Okay.
Well, technically, I'm not breaking anything, and I'm not entering. I'm just standing here playing on my computer. It's just not my fault that there's a fuck ton of insects just swarming around.
All right. So you're getting your net ready. You're doing the robots. Jar, are you doing anything?
I'm just leaned up against the door on the opposite side of the hallway.
All right. Curiously
Just kind
watching.
of watching. Yep.
All right. So in that case, Alex, your little robots sneak through the door, and they start giving you feedback. The apartment is pretty craptastical overall, and very, very not well kept. There's garbage on the counters. There's stains on the carpet. There's a couple holes in walls, like someone punched them, or maybe a few bullet holes too.
Oh wow! Is this like new damage, or is this old damage?
Most of it looks pretty old, actually. Now, in fact, there's a couple of places where it's attempts to fix it have been made. You also, in the main room, you also pretty quickly detect that there's somebody sleeping on the couch, and they are very much certainly not El Shadarta. In fact, it seems to be a older, very, very overweight gentleman of basically in his underpants.
Oh great! So basically, this is their last known address. This is probably the new occupant then. I'm guessing. Fine. Okay, I'm gonna recall the bots, put them away. I'm gonna show on the screen of my little computer to these guys, so these guys have seen everything that I've just seen. Okay, I'm not keeping secrets from these guys. I'm gonna say, what do you think, guys? Looks like it's a new occupant. I think we should. I don't think they're gonna be a runner.
No, they may have some information.
Absolutely, I think you're right. I'm gonna bang on the door.
All right, let's see if they wake up. Oh, they do. So they certainly do.
I want to put my gun away so I don't look threatening when they answer the door.
Good idea.
The three of us probably between us look moderately threatening anyway.
Jar, are you doing anything before they show up?
I'm just maintaining position.
All right. So there's a slight change of light coming through the peephole, and a few moments later, you hear from the other side, "What do you want?"
Hey, hi, how you doing, man? You know the person who used to live here before? We're looking for somebody. You've been in this apartment long?
A few years. Why?
Do you know anything about the person who used to live here?
What person that used to live here?
Woman by the name of El Shadarta. I can't read my notes.
El Shadarta.
El Shadarta.
All right, it's time for a reaction roll.
I'm gonna put on my pretty face.
Can I use my charisma to make it good? I have charisma.
Yeah, your charisma is being factored in.
Okay.
Would you say that any of you guys are using skills to help boost this reaction? By the way.
Absolutely, I'm gonna be using my charisma and I don't know whether acting is the right kind of thing.
Fast talk would be the best option here if you guys got it.
I will roll fast talk.
I could biology at him.
Biology at him
I
later.
know the difference between meiosis and mitosis is where cell division even. It's like, no, that's probably not great. Fast talk. Fast talk. My natural fast talk is 13, but I've got 2 levels of charisma as well. Oh, that's not a great roll. But I have 2 points of charisma, so.
All right. I will say that that doesn't hurt your charisma bonus to the reaction. It also doesn't necessarily help very much.
Okay.
That said, you do get a good reaction because he rolled pretty high. Request for aid. All right, so they tell you straight up. Oh yeah, Elle. She used to be my roommate a few years back. What do you want with her?
Oh, it's we need to settle a few accounts with the place that she used to work for. She didn't collect her last payment, and the account rejected the transaction. So yeah, we're just trying to sort that out. My buddies here, we're about to head out on a night out, so they thought they'd tag along while I was trying to find out a new account details for her.
All right. Well, she lives on the other side of town nowadays, but she still comes around. I think she still goes and visits a bar a couple blocks over. Might be. I don't know where her new place is. She moved a few times since she lived here, and but I can tell you the address for the bar.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I'm sure she'll be quite pleased. That I don't know why she's moved around so much. It's been a right pain. I mean, the company said, if she doesn't want to collect her last payment, then that's fine. But you know what these big corporations are like.
All right. I'll anything else?
Well, I'm assuming he's given us the details now.
Yeah, he gives you some details. It's a bar that's oddly enough called the Dagger Bar.
Oh, nice. Nice. Quick question, Izixs.
Yep.
How noticeable are the surveillance bots, the swarm?
I would have to do a little bit of reading, but that's what I did. You may have noticed I did a roll earlier to see if they woke him up, but let's go ahead and start moving forward, and I'll try to see if I can come up with an answer for you.
Because as I say, if I think that these are the sorts of things that could be left, actually there's lots of little holes in the apartment and everything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave one of my... Do I actually have more than one surveillance swarm? Let me just double check quickly. Swarmbot, surveillance. No, I just have one because I couldn't afford a second one. Damn it.
Well, don't you have your one little robot friend?
Yeah, but I don't really know anything about him. Actually, then again, yes. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the swarm bots because now he's awake. I don't want to send them in there. I'm going to instruct the swarm bots to stay around the door and around in the hallway. And if he leaves, then I'm going to instruct them to go into the apartment and hide themselves around.
All right.
And then keep surveillance going.
Okay. The swarm bots. Following the instructions, start taking up positions on the ceiling in the hallway, mainly in the weird spots that seem to be kind of in various places for no good reason.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I'm just gonna keep if they identify. I'm assuming they can recognize her face because I've got a computer file of her face. Can I upload it to them to get them to alert me if they identify her?
Give me a roll. If you have computer operations, that'll be useful.
I have electronic operation robots.
Okay, go for that.
It seemed like a good idea. If I need to give complex instructions to robots, if I figured I might get a skill. Okay. Right. Electronics. Robots. That's not a bad roll, but it'll probably fluff. Oh no, that's not bad. It's a pass, assuming I don't get any penalties.
All right. You upload the software that the pattern for her face, and they seem able to maybe recognize her, provided she's not wearing a disguise or something like that, or keeping her face hidden.
Okay. I'm just going to leave them, let them go dormant unless they detect activity, and put my computer away and walk off.
All right.
Let's see if we can go to this bar.
the other two guys doing anything here?
Has he already gone back into his apartment?
Oh yeah. He seems, unless you got something else to ask him, he'll just kind of, head back.
I was just gonna give him a smile of reassurance that we were innocent.
Yeah, we're not trying to apprehend her at all.
Gepwin, you got anything?
Nope.
All right, cool. The guy on the other side seems to have gone back to probably the couch to sleep off whatever he was doing.
Fantastic.
All right, so heading off to that bar?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, it's time for a new map.
Yay!
Let's see if
What
I
they're
can...
looking at that weird alien elephant.
There we go. Hopefully. You guys on the thing here?
We're at the bottom.
All right,
Yes.
I'll go ahead and put your new dudes here. So I forgot to import the car, but, that should be
It's
good
fine.
enough.
It's fine.
Eh,
Good enough.
Unless we're gonna drive the car into the bar.
Yeah, we'll assume that it's parked up somewhere nearby.
All right.
Can you Batman it and connect your phone to the car?
Probably. Remote driving might be a bit risky.
Make sure you get all your checks properly.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, it's self-drive anyway, so you could just instruct it to go somewhere, and it probably did. Hell, it probably dropped us off and then parked itself.
Yes. So,
Okay. I'm gonna get myself ready. Bars, I can deal with bars. I'm gonna stroll in there
all right,
because I like bars.
It's
Bars is
it's
something I'm
normal
familiar with.
bar operating hours and everything.
it's a little early, but the bar does appear to be open because you guys have been running around for a few hours now.
Yeah, no time is too early for the bar.
And from the looks of this seems like the kind of place that there's probably people drinking all hours, honestly. Maybe not like 6 a.m., but definitely at 8.
Wow.
It's still in the Purple District, aka the rundown part of town. And there are the front did have windows at some point, but they've apparently been broken enough that they just sealed them up, and with bricks and things like that. So
Cool. I'm going to stroll in and find a good place to sit after getting a drink.
all right,
Same.
go ahead and start moving you guys in, and I will reveal the bar. You can see that, right?
Wow, there's a lot of people already.
Ooh.
Act.
What the hell's going on there?
And I got a description for you too.
Wow.
The ring race.
So, excuse me. Low hum of popular pop music fills your ears as you enter the bar. There seems to be a thick layer of grease on every single surface, the result of centuries of spilled booze and the burning of various narcotics. The place is filled with patrons and smoke. Most of the patrons are enjoying their drinks and light conversation. The bartender spots you quickly and then proceeds to pretend like he didn't see you, seemingly uninterested in strangers. However, some of the patrons soon start to notice you as well. By the shifty-eyed looks, they don't seem too welcoming. Thankfully, none of them seem at all interested in challenging you either. In the right corner is the bar proper. To the left is a small raised platform that can be used as a stage. Perhaps this place plays live music from time to time. Overall, the bar is kind of claustrophobic with low ceilings, and tight walls, and dark colors. The right wall has a door on it, marked with the toilet sign, obviously leading off somewhere where you might be able to, use the bathroom. So,
Well, that's at least something. Or they've got all the mod cons.
so
Okay.
what you guys doing?
Straight up to the bar, and I'm going to order a gin.
All right. The bartender doesn't say much, but does pour you a drink. It's gin. It's not poison. Nothing like that. Nothing crazy going on. And they seem very disinterested in talking to you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not interested in talking to them either.
Well, I will join him. Order myself a whiskey.
All right, I'll pretend this other person was sitting elsewhere.
Out of the way.
Get out of the way. All right, so
That one's hugging 2 chairs. I mean, there's quite a lot of them are hugging 2 chairs. Actually, come to think of it,
One for each foot.
this is the,
bastards.
the bar style I wanted, but it was too big, so I just shrunk it. But just pretend they're fat or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. I can pretend that.
All right, so you get your whiskey, and once again, bartender provides. Doesn't seem to say much, and I'm going to make a roll. And overall, it's pretty mediocre booze for the both of you. Jar, what you doing?
Are these just like pillars by the door?
Yes.
All right, so I think I'm just gonna lean up and keep an eye out on everything as everyone's walking around. Drinking isn't his favorite thing to do, nor is the environment, so he's just gonna stay posted.
All right. So Jar is having a look out. Go ahead and give me a roll for perception then. Seven. All right. That makes your perception by 2. I should probably actually have rolled something particular here. Oh, didn't actually pick up that skill for him. But that's a good roll, but they still failed. So Jar. Actually, I should probably do the other couple people here as well.
Well, I'm gonna stand at the bar and I'm gonna casually watch everybody using my special kind of casually watching everybody without looking like I'm watching everybody skill.
All right, Melek, you'll be doing that, but Jar got first dibs
That's
here.
fine. That's fine. Well, there
so-
is specifically a skill that does exactly what I just said, so it's like yes.
All right, Jar. You think you recognize a couple people in the bar. So specifically this person. You see a little circle thing with jig there?
Mm-hmm.
And this person. If I can click there.
All right.
The person up here does kind of look like this L you're looking for. She has a hoodie on, and keeping her face kind of down at the moment, and generally seems to be trying to avoid, eye contact with people. But you get enough of a general sense that you think this might be the person you're looking for. The person over here, you don't actually know who they are, but you think you recognize their face from somewhere.
Just kept no remembering of where, possibly.
Yes. If you had been living on this planet for more than the short amount of time you had, I would give you who they are, but you haven't been around long enough. Okay, they might be someone famous. All right.
Hey, if we can do fanboy squeals and get an autograph.
All right. So Jar, before Melek starts, sipping his drink and having a look, are you going to be doing anything else?
I think I'm going to make my way around against the walls and then just sort of get by him and nudge him just to peer over at the other person that I
Being
recognize.
very not suspicious, skirting the edge of the bar.
Dun, dun, dun,
I think this demands a perception roll from our peoples here. Where's my sheet there? All right. And they're completely oblivious. And
Yay.
okay. All right. So with Jar's assistance, would you like to make an observation roll?
Yeah, I would. Because observation is a thing that I can do. Is observation, and is that specifically perception or vision?
You have a skill for it.
Yes, I do. It's based on perception. But my vision is like 1 point higher, so I don't know whether I use just the
Well,
I'll use the roll.
All right, with Jar's assistance, you also get a +1. So.
Wow. Okay, I roll 11 under my observation skill. That's almost a crit.
So yeah, that's actually that means you rolled a 4, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that is actually a crit. You know
Of course,
exactly.
it is in the system, yeah.
Yeah, you know that this is Elishardarta, and you pick up on that very quickly. You also know that she has noticed you guys.
Okay.
She is, aware that there's some people that aren't regulars in the bar. They're acting a little suspicious.
Okay.
And with a roll like that, you probably also catch out of the corner of your eye that the individual over in this corner is actually a famous musician who seems to be enjoying some time in a dive bar.
Like they do.
Like they do. Male or female musician?
Male. They're what's the name here? Their name is Tandem. They are a quote classical guitarist.
Oh wow, okay.
AKA for this era, that'd be like Metallica. So.
Fantastic. Yeah, that works. Cool. Not that I'm actually gonna approach, but I'm still thinking that's pretty cool. Okay. I'm just gonna sip on my drink and not look that way. I'm not gonna make it obvious. My observation means that's the good thing about that skill is that apparently it's you're keeping an eye out for things and watching an area without making it obvious that you're watching the area. So I do like that skill. So I'm gonna be chill. I'm gonna be chill about this and just carry on. I'm gonna sip on my gin.
In fact,
does that mean I have no idea what's going on then?
Well, we'll get to that in a moment. But Mr. Alex there has succeeded so well that you guys don't know he's observing.
I probably look like I am just literally oblivious and drinking gin.
But yes, Gepwin, if you wish to make an appropriate observation to try to catch on to where Elle is hanging out, trying to be all sneaky like. All right,
That's probably pretty good.
Yeah, you catch on that this is probably your target here. Are you going to do anything?
I am debating. I guess if I thought of it and I took impulsive as a disadvantage, I should do something.
All right.
So, I will go over and sit down and say, "Excuse me, is anyone sitting here?" and just sit before I say anything.
Interesting move there. All right. So there's the guy on the right here. You have no idea who that guy is. But that closer, yeah, it's pretty clear this is Elle. And she looks up to you, and let's see how she reacts. Oh, it's actually not too bad. It's not really anything here that could affect that. And that kind of thing is kind of good for a bar, since there's not a lot of places that aren't occupied, other than the by the virtuoso guitar guy over there. So she looks up and she's like, "No, it's not taken."
Thank you very much. I'm new in town, just found this establishment. I will say this is not my favorite drink so far.
She looks at her own drink. It's acceptable. Where are you from?
I imagine there's not a lot of choice around here. Where am I not from? Gentleman, explorer, adventurer. Just, drifting through town on my way to the wilderness. I was just exploring and observing the local wildlife preserve.
You're a long way from the preserve. What brings you to a place like this?
Oh, this is the problem with impulsive.
If you want to resist it.
That's boring, though. Resisting boredom.
I finished a wonderful hike and met up with my friends here to just explore around the local dive establishments. And get a lay of the land. You can never see a city until you've been to the underserved, not touristed areas.
The question
I'm
is,
just going to
does she...
sigh loudly and shake my head hearing him say that. Just
Question is, does she believe you? What's the default for fast talk here? Let me double check here. That's knee strike. That's for later.
IQ -5 or something, is it? I don't know. That's what it says on my
yes.
thing.
Wait, unless you have fast talk. I don't believe you do.
Nope.
You do not have acting either. So IQ -5 is your base skill. Go ahead and give that a roll.
Aye. I have to rely on my wonderful charisma.
Right, and the funny thing is, she gets a roll as well. Yours. How much did you fail that by the way?
Oh, where's my IQ? IQ is 10. So if I get a charisma modifier, that would be...
Oh yeah, certainly.
My charisma is 2. So if it's -5, I guess 4-ish. What would I need?
Yeah, you fail it by about 4. If you're getting -5 because you're unskilled, +2 because of the charisma, rolled an 11. Yeah, the difference is about 4.
All right. So it's close call, but she seems to buy your story.
Wow, you managed to just blag your way through that somehow.
Yeah. It might be because she's drunk or just because I rolled poorly. But yeah, she's like, well, that's fine. She seems a little confused by this still, but
okay. While it looks like things are kind of going well-ish, I'm just gonna sigh and make a bit of a show of getting up from the bar, wandering over, and saying, "Yeah, you're not causing trouble again, are you? Is he causing trouble? Because if he's, look, I have to apologize up front. If he is causing trouble, I mean, he's slagging this bar off. Which I mean, it's. Is he all right? Is he not bothering you?"
he's fine. She pushes out the other chair and motions for you to sit.
I'm going to look around and realize that most tables are taken, and I'm going to be like, oh, thank you very much.
She then nods to her friend over here, who then gets up and moves over to the bar.
Cool.
And motions for Jar to come over.
Wow, that's it. Just like, yeah. I've got new friends now. You can go to the bar.
I do hesitate walking.
That is cold. She is cold.
So she then says, once Jar has a seat, so you boys here for business or pleasure?
Looking for work, actually. My friend here, he likes to wander around the wilderness between jobs. Not really my cup of tea. There's green stuff. I don't get on with green stuff, and things that move that aren't people kind of bothers me a lot. So yeah, I tend to wander around looking for work here and there. And yeah, he wanted to check out this establishment. He said it. What did you say it was? It looked like a nice dive from the outside, I think he said. Which I don't know. All I can do is apologize for his tastes.
Apology accepted? Big question mark at the end of that.
What? He's just there like chatting and being casual about things, and then he's going to take another sip of his gin and look around at the establishment and take in the ambiance, as it were. Do remember from the description, this place has pop music playing, so like kind of cheesy, boring background noise that's oddly more cheerful than the actual decor of this place. It's a little odd, but is it like ironic music?
A little bit. It's like, welcome to the darkness pit where we play Britney Spears 24/7.
Oh, good God, not Britney Spears. No. If it's like Britney Spears, then it's just gonna do my head in. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna sip at the bar. I'm just gonna, not sit at the bar. I'm just gonna sit here where I am and just sip on my gin a little bit and look around without making it obvious that I'm carefully studying everybody.
All right. She's gonna turn to Jar and say, "So, what kind of work are you guys looking for?"
Guess I'm gonna reply with whatever I can get my hands on, and then I guess I'm gonna abruptly change the topic and like smear my finger into the grease on the table and ask, "Well, so what brings you back here often? If you come here often?"
Oh my, Jar. I'm gonna need a fast talk on that one. Make it good.
Just a regular roll.
Regular roll. IQ -5 is your skill.
Unless you have faster.
Yes.
No.
So you fail it by 4. She looks at you really confused. And then she looks back at Simon Gepwin, and he says, "Is there something wrong with your friend?"
I think he just gets nervous in the presence of attractive young women.
She smirks. Really now? She then looks back to Jar and is like, "So, you single?" By the way, everyone except Jar knows that she's joking. Because Jar has the oblivious trait.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly mutter out no, and then get very awkward.
Yay for awkward.
She then adds, "Well..."
I'm going to pat him on the shoulder.
Elle then says, "Well, that doesn't stop me usually."
I'm gonna smile. Just gonna smile in that kind of like, if she looks my way, I'm gonna acknowledge it and just smile at the amusement of it, because she's just being a bitch. But this is kind of funny, you know.
She then turns back to you, Melek, and says, "So, if you are looking for work, I might know some people to talk to if you're interested."
Uh-huh. What kind of work?
Well, you guys seem like a few rough and tumble types. I might need
And
some...
I kind of put my drink down and put a sort of serious sort of look on my face. It's like, uh-huh. And sort of like, you caught my attention kind of a reaction.
A friend of mine might need, I don't know, someone to pay people visits, if you know what I mean.
And like, what are we talking here? I mean, and I look around because obviously the place is quite full. I mean, like, is this a place to talk about such things?
That's a good question. How would she react here? I think I have an appropriate skill to roll on this. And, she actually misses it. So, she's like, "Well..."
Yes, this is the perfect place to talk about my illegal side business.
Exactly, yeah. See, guys, my plan is that she leaves with us, and then we fucking arrest her, bundle her in the car, and find where this android is. This is my plan at this point.
She says, "A friend of mine named Edvik is looking for a little muscle to help him on some personal collection business.
Huh.
You might need someone who's capable of maybe breaking a few things."
Are we talking doors? Are we talking... And I look around. Are we talking bones?
You'd have to talk to Edvik about that.
Huh. Is he here?
Oh, no, actually. I can get you in contact, though. Would you like his number?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, why not?
She pulls out a phone and, provides you a number.
Okay, I'll put it into my little personal computer thing.
She then looks at you, Gepwin, and you are, Jar's pretty out there as far as looks, but you're much more so. You're finely dressed, and you got your helmet thing going on, and she looks at you, Gepwin, and she says, "So, gentleman adventurer, is that a official title, or are you just a crazy person?"
I'll chuckle to myself while taking another sip of my gin. I'm trying to let this drink last because I don't want to get drunk while on the job.
Yeah, just so folks know, there are a lot of people with a lot of different kind of confusing cultures for you guys, as well as you guys can be very confusing to other people. She's actually not certain how legitimate a gentleman adventurer is.
Fair enough. That's good. The more she doesn't know what's going on, the better.
Self-styled, ma'am, self-styled. After a few years working in private military, I decided to take my retirement to spend my time exploring the remainder of the galaxy that I had not yet seen in the undespoiled rim of the wilderness.
Well, you quite far from the rim here.
Yes, well, of course, sometimes you have to return to more civilized worlds for resupply and to see what they are doing with the natural parks, give the advice of a professional, as it were.
A naturalist? Huh. Well, your big gun there is any use. I think Edvik might be able to use your services. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I feel like there should be, but now I'm drawing a blank.
I think Carter's gonna speak up and say, to be honest, today, nothing planned today. Pretty much just wanted to sit down, spend a little bit of money, and then carry on with the search tomorrow. But from the sounds of it, I might not need to carry on the search tomorrow if we get in contact with this Edvik.
Excellent. Then may I interest you in some pleasure then?
She being ironic. What is her game here?
She is not joking this time, by the way.
Oh
my.
This doesn't sound like it is.
Okay. Well, my dear, that's an interesting offer. And I'm gonna take another drink of gin and leave that as an empty at the end of the sentence.
She turns to you, Jar, wondering what your answer is.
I think he's gonna be quiet and look over at Simon with a terrified face. Like he's living in hell right now.
Now, would you say that you're spooked enough to require a fright check?
No.
All right. You're just incredibly uncomfortable. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
All right. So.
Oh, I know I shouldn't. I'm gonna have to resist this. I'm gonna have to resist one of my disadvantages here. You see, I know I shouldn't because she's a target. So I know I shouldn't end up getting, flirtatious with her. I know I shouldn't, but it's one of my. Yeah, I'm gonna have to roll a check. Oh, please get 12 or under. Please get 12 or under.
While you're thinking about it, Melek, she then looks to you, Gepwin, and gives you that same sort of
thank goodness,
curious look.
Because that would have complicated everything.
Always open to new and exciting experiences, my dear.
You don't say. Well, what kind of pleasure are you looking for? Little narcotic, a little physical enjoyment, something else. You don't seem like the kind that'd be a chiphead, but
I always get us into these situations.
I think we all got us into this situation, to be fair.
At my age, the pleasures of the flesh and the narcotic can be a bit overtaxing. Though I do sometimes enjoy a good show, maybe a spot of gambling on the good old equine arts.
A racer, eh? Interesting. Don't get many of them around this part of town. But, well, Edvik might know some people if you're interested.
Perhaps. Could always use a diversion when my path takes me away from my true calling of Mother Nature.
Well, it's been good meeting all of you. I think I'm going to do you guys a favor, because if you do get helping out Edvik, well, you'd be doing me a favor. Drinks are on me, boys.
Excellent.
She nods the bartender, who seems to be, and then, but nods back as if he understands what's going on. If you will excuse me, I have some business to attend to. Have a good one.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm guessing she's leaving.
Yeah, she gets up and starts heading out, unless you guys want to do something to stop her.
I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to nip to the loo.
All right.
And like immediately and see what other exits there are out the back.
All right. So you're going to be let's reveal the area. Go ahead and move yourself over.
I don't know where to go.
The
there.
hallway over there is the hallway to the bathrooms, and there are two doors there.
Okay. Did she actually go that way?
Probably. No, she seemed to go. Yeah, she went right to the door there. But
I thought she went to the front door. My apologies.
Nope. She went to through the door there, and there are 3 doors on the other side. Once you stick your head in through the door.
Okay. Which way did she go? Does it look like?
Well, there are 3 doors there, and she does not seem to be present. So I'll go ahead and do that so you can see the little red bits.
Oh yeah, that's much better.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay. Can I hear any noises from any of these doors?
The door that is right there appears to be occupied because there's somebody inside that's having a bad time. They're groaning and moaning, and you're not sure if they're what end of the business they're engaged in, but they seem to be not well. And there's the the other bathroom door appears to be that one, and this one is unmarked. By the way, this one is the one closer to you is ladies. The one further away is the men's.
Okay. So I'm guessing she went to the far door. Okay. I'm gonna listen briefly on the door, see if I can hear anything. And then I'm just gonna crack it open and see if I can see anything.
All right, give me a perception check. And while you're doing that, what are you other 2 guys doing? Yeah, Alex just got up and left.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did we notice that he started following her?
He
Yes.
pretty much, yeah. I think he probably would have noticed me actually, leave the table.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's decent. From the far side, you can hear what sounds like a kitchen sort of situation. Like there's like a grill or something like that, and there's people moving around in there.
I'll give it an appropriate amount of time to not look overly suspicious, and then go follow him.
All right, go ahead and start moving. Jar, what you up to?
I think given there's 2 people back there now, I'm gonna have to just wait here for any suspicion to die down.
All right, so back to Alex. So you're poking your head through.
Okay, I'm just gonna wander in and look like I'm a bit drunk. I'm like gonna move unsteadily into the kitchen and keep an eye out for her.
Give me an acting roll.
Okay, I'm also, before I do that, as Simon's come up behind me, I'm gonna say I'm just gonna whisper out to him before I go in properly and start drunkily staggering around. I'm saying, check the front, make sure she hasn't made a runner. And then I'm gonna stagger in.
go ahead and move in.
Okay.
Right.
You are.
And I'm going to wander off. And I'm going to wander. Okay. Wander off to this door that's next to me that way.
All right.
And I'm going to do the acting check.
So do your acting check, and I'll describe the room. It is a small kitchen. There are 2 people here who are preparing food. This bar seems to be mostly drink-based, but there apparently is some sort of menu, and they are cooking up a couple things. There's like a couple burgers on the stoves. Most of the stuff in here seems underutilized, though, so food isn't the main reason people come here.
No. The kitchen probably at some point in the past was used properly. Now they just put whatever gruel like slop that they can throw together for people. Excellent.
Right.
So I'm going to stagger in here like I'm looking for the toilet. And I'm going to, if nobody interrupts me, I'm going to carry on and see what's in here.
One of the cooks says, the toilet's the other side, man.
I'm going to see if I can kind of open this door and at least see what's beyond it and pretend I haven't heard him briefly.
Right. Well, while you're doing that, Gepwin, what are you doing?
Well, he told me to go check the front, so I guess I will wander over to the front of the bar and lean outside like I need some air.
All right. From here, you can see clearly that most of the other buildings next to this are right next to the bar, so it's all butted up together. So there is, maybe a block or so down, an alley that goes between the buildings that could be potentially leading to any space behind the building. And so if she was going to be slipping out the back or something like that, that would probably be the way through, unless there's a door to one of the other buildings next to the bar.
Okay. So where's the alley? On the right side?
Yes. Let's say it's off the map. It'll take you half a minute to get over there.
Okay. I'll wander over, kind of peek around the alley, and nonchalantly lean in case somebody comes out this way.
All right. While you're doing that, Jar, are you doing anything?
I think a sufficient amount of time has passed. I'm gonna wander into that hallway and actually just go into the male's bathroom.
All right. So the male's bathroom is the one where there's lots of noises.
I'm curious.
You open the door, it's unlocked, and there's a guy on the toilet. Let me do the reveal here. And he seems very upset you're there, but he has other reasons to be more upset.
I think I'm gonna just wash my hands and get out within a matter of 15 seconds. And then just stand against the wall.
He seems very, very perturbed, but he's busy. So, Alex, you poke your head through this.
I sort of drunkenly kind of sway into that door like I'm kind of half know where I'm going.
All right, you poke your head in, despite the cooks telling you otherwise, and it appears to be an office of some sort. And there's a guy, working on some paperwork. By that I mean he's poking at a computer, and there's actually several data pads at the sides, and there's no actual paper here.
And I'm gonna drunkenly say, "This is not the bathroom. As it's this way," and then I'm gonna wander back out immediately.
The guy tells you to basically frag off and get out of here.
Okay, I'm gonna stagger up and up to this door. I'm basically north this way if I can go that way.
All right, give me another acting roll because these cooks seem to be getting a little bit more antsy.
Yeah, that's fine. Acting is surprisingly one of my stronger skills. I have no idea why. Oh, I only just scraped that one. But let's see what penalties I've gotten on top of that. Who knows?
All right, they seem annoyed, but they don't stop you moving through.
Cool. I'll just stagger through the door at the top then.
All right. So it'll be a little bit longer before you're quite in position, Gepwin.
Okay.
Jar, are you just hanging out there?
I think I'm gonna make my way outside the bar now.
All right.
But go the opposite direction of where Simon went.
Okay. So that there's another alley off that way, but it's a little bit further away.
I think I'll go and do the same that Simon was doing.
All right. So,
just lean and look.
So you guys will be out of the action for a few more moments then. So Alex pokes his head into this door then.
Mm-hmm.
And there's L.
And that looks like some kind of artificial machine.
Yes, there appears to be an android that has seems to be a very flesh sort of built one, so it's artificial flesh. The skin color is a very metallic gray, so it's shiny, despite having the sort of look and feel of flesh otherwise. It's really kind of unsettling. And her eyes are, I think I said pink, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And she's just kind of standing there while L is rummaging around in a crate there.
Okay, I'm going to slip inside and let the door close behind me.
All right. You're going to need to... are you trying to do this without being noticed?
I'm trying to do this, without being heard by her or look like I've suddenly sobered up by them. I'm running a balance between these two things. But yes, ultimately my priority is to not be heard until the door is shut behind me.
Yeah, she's a little distracted at the moment, so let's go with shadowing for your skill check.
Hey, shadowing works. I've got shadowing. Okay, shadowing. What is my shadowing skill? There it is. Oh, is that another reasonable one? But beat that by 3. Not a great roll, but it's acceptable.
Let's see if there's any interesting modifiers I can throw at this. For or against you, of course.
Rude.
Alright. So you made it by that.
Yeah, I made it by 3.
Alright. And for better or worse, I think that's enough that you all have entered the room undetected.
Okay.
At least by L.
Yes. So she doesn't seem to have noticed me. Does the robot thing, the android, seem to have reacted to my presence?
Noticed and react are different questions, but they do not seem to be reacting. You don't know if they've noticed you.
Okay. Yeah, they're going to be harder to read.
In fact, the android seems to be almost completely motionless.
Okie
All right.
dokie.
Go ahead.
Did you have a number to swap with me, Simon, Scott? Did you have mobile numbers to swap, or do you guys not have them?
Can we pretend that I put a walkie-talkie or phone in my inventory?
Sure.
Well, I think we all have phones. It's whether or not you guys, because I know you said you potentially sort of come from more of a primitive culture, so I didn't know whether you would have even had a phone to have swapped details with.
I eventually did pick one up on my time before us meeting.
Okay, does it look like the... Okay, fair enough, so I've got that option. Does it look like the door to the north might lead... is it like an indoor door or an outside door? You know what I mean? Does it look like...
It looks heavier than the internal doors here, so it's probably an outside facing door.
Okie dokie. Cool. That works for me. I'm going to just, I'm not going to reach for my gun, but it's going to be there available, my little stun pistol. And I'm with the other hand, I'm just going to carefully type out a message and send it out to those two and say they're in the back room. Maybe leads to the alleyway. And that's it. And I'm just going to wait and see if I can stay here. I might as well move my token fully in because.
All right. So you guys get a bleep on your phones or a vibration.
How big is that crate? Sorry, how big is that crate to the bottom of me?
It's about it's actually several crates stacked on top, so you could probably hide behind it pretty easily.
Okay, I will stay behind that, out of sight of these two.
All right. So Gepwin, Jar, what are you up to?
Hey, I just got a phone beep.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess I'll check my phone.
All right. So you get Alex's message.
Very disappointed that it's not my Words with Friends update. Alright, I'll glance over at Scott and see if he's got the same thing and wave him over to the alley.
Yeah, definitely have the same message. Exchange eye contact, and I make my way over.
All right.
Well, I should try exploring down the alley.
All right.
See if I can get over to that rear door.
All right. So
Okay.
I'll go
While
ahead
they're
and,
doing that, I'm going to observe these two. I'm going to look to see if I can see that she may have any hidden weapons. I'm going to see if I could study the android to see if it's got any weapons, whether they be built in or whatever. So yeah, I'm just going to basically listen, observe, sit tight, make sure that my phone is on silent, completely silent, obviously, in case I get a reply.
right.
And yeah, just see if I can assess this situation.
Go ahead and give your observation rolls, and I'll reveal the alleyway. If I can. There we go. And go ahead and move you guys up there. So there's a couple guys back here, but they don't seem to be caring about you at all. They're just a couple bums. In fact, I'll move them close to the trash can. They're talking about who knows what, some sort of nonsense that people they know. But
yay, nonsense.
Is that your observation roll there?
Yes, I'm just gonna scroll the screen a little bit so that it's a bit nicer for the people watching.
Right.
There we go. That's a bit better.
Jar, what was that roll for?
I'm gonna ignore that.
Okay. You're trying to do something, let me know first. You guys move around to the back. The back door for the dagger bar is pretty obvious. It actually says dagger bar on the back. There's a couple guys there. There's some trash in the alleyway. And some of it's piled high enough that if you wish to, you could potentially try to hide behind it, but that's completely up to you. I'll get to what you see in a moment, Alex.
Let's stand next to the door and send a reply that says outside.
All right.
Or out back.
Okay.
Jar, are you doing anything special?
I just get a nod from Simon, so I can guess what he's probably sent.
All right, cool. Alex, as you're observing, she seems to be searching for something. She doesn't seem to be fighting very easily. You do notice on her that she appears to not have any obvious firearms, but she does have a knife under her under the edge of her coat jacket thing. It's the future. I don't know what the name for it would be. But other than that, she seems unarmed, other than her cybernetic arm on her left side. But you already knew about that.
Yeah, does that have is it just going to be ultimately a strong arm, or is it going to have integrated stuff inside of it, or don't I know?
That's a good question. Do you have any knowledge about cybernetics?
No.
We do have some stuff about robots.
I do have electronics operation robots. It's operation of robots. I mean, I'll give you a roll and you can tell me what I can figure out about A, the robot, and B, her arm, if anything. I mean,
all right, this would be perhaps a little tricky. Actually, let's look for a repair or build skill real quick. See what that default would be.
Well, I'll roll the electronics operation robots, and then you can add whatever modifiers there are. I mean, I made it by once. That probably isn't going to be all.
Yeah, you have no idea in that case.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. What about the robot itself, the droid? Do I pick up anything from that with that roll, or do I have to do a different roll? Or
they seem very unresponsive. They don't seem to be doing anything. In fact, you don't even know if they're activated. They could be powered down.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Right around the time you get the message for back from Gepwin and Jar, Elle seems to be getting a little on the angry side. She shuts the lid of the crate she's been rummaging around with, and then looks over at the robot and says, "Where is that computer?" And the robot replies, "What computer?" in a very, very perky voice. Okay, I'm gonna just carry on listening, see what I can glean.
Elle shakes her head, disappointed, moves around, grabs the android by the face, starts squeezing, and yells, "You know, the fragging computer." By the way, you guys outside, give me a observation roll for hearing.
I was going to ask about that.
Let me know how much you make it by.
1 apparently.
It looks like you both made it by 1, right? All right, so you guys can actually both hear that there's some sort of yelling going on inside, because Elle is very much raising her voice at this point.
Is it enough to distinguish, like, that it's a female?
It's a little hard to tell.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can resolve this situation a little bit. There's gonna be a fight, and when the fight kicks off, they're gonna charge in, I suspect. So let's see if I can get her to back down. And I hope this. Does this robot look like it's gonna cause me trouble if it decides to try and kill me, or is it not a physical, strong?
It looks very small. In fact, the robot here is 5 foot. She seems kind of like built like a small woman. She's wearing clothes, of course. Not all androids do, but she is. And other than her strange color, seems fairly weak looking. Probably.
Cool.
Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean much in terms of robots sometimes.
No, she could transform into some death fucking Ed 209 kind of destroyer of worlds and with nuclear powered lasers. Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna casually stand out, have my making sure that my heavy laser is on my belt, visible, and my sonic stun pistol is casually held up, pointing, and I'm gonna turn around to her and say, make a sound, and I am gonna blast you. And I'm gonna give her a very stern look and say it in a very threatening way.
Are you coming out from behind the crate there?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so like there.
Yep.
All right. So guys outside.
I'm trying to intimidate her.
All right. Go ahead and give me a roll. You guys outside also give me another perception roll.
All right.
Because Alex is closer to you, so it'd be easier to hear.
Ooh, made it by 0.
Oh, fail! Critical fail on the intimidation.
Oh.
So basically, instead of make a sound and I'll kill you, instead of saying that, it says, "Oh, I'd rather you be quiet, please."
Quiet down, you. All right.
I don't think that she's.
How would Elle react at this point here, I wonder?
To a feeble type of intimidation with someone with a gun.
Well, I think she would not give a crap.
No, I don't think anyone would give a crap with that. I don't think I'd make a 5-year-old cry with that performance.
All right, and she also notices you, of course. Da-da-da. She raises her arms like she's like seemingly trying to it's like don't shoot me sort of thing.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Give me a moment.
If she does anything, I'm gonna.
All right. When she puts her arms up like that, you are pretty sure she's not actually trying to ward you off. She's up to something.
Okay. I'm gonna turn around and with my other hand, I'm gonna with my fist, I'm just gonna bang on the wall and say, "Go on, guys."
All right, you guys outside, give me one more perception check.
I'm banging on the wall and speaking up to them. I mean, if you guys don't hear this, then you've got issues. Come on.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Gepwin hears. Jar does not. Jar's a little further away, too, so.
I will burst in, gun out.
Yay.
I still follow him from seeing him do that, though, right?
I still have my net loaded from earlier.
All right,
excellent.
Cool. And
guns out.
So Elle raises her arm, sees you guys run in. Alex, you see on her left arm a hole open up in her palm.
A hole in her palm, like she's got cybernetic weapons in her
yes.
robotic arm.
And
That can't be good.
that's where we're going to leave today's session.
Ah, rude. Very rude.
Yes.
Just so we can all die first thing next time.
Well, hopefully not. But
Well, yeah, hopefully not.
I'm pretty sure you guys could probably take her. The question is, how much damage does she do first?
Well, if it's some kind of energy weapon, laser, my trench coat should be able to handle it. I just hope she doesn't shoot me in the face.
Well,
That would be bad.
we'll see how that rolls.
Unless it's my eyes. My eyes I wouldn't actually be too concerned about because I have my cool shades, but, you know.
So we'll leave things off here. We'll pick up with a fight at the beginning of the next session. And
That's cool.
this one is going to be a little bit more strenuous than that sort of intro bit there. And I also want to give you guys go over some of the basics of more formal combat before we get into that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right.
Okay.
So didn't want to get too into it quite yet here. So I think we're good to go unless there's anything else.
I can't think of anything in particular.
All right. Cool.
Huh?
And so the first mission is underway. You've located the robot. You've located the person who stole her, and you just need to acquire the robot and bring him back.
Yes, this may be a bit more complicated than before, but at least we did get the drop on her, although she may be about to kind of get the drop on hers.
Somebody can't intimidate anyone.
I know, exactly. I mean, that's just the most pathetic attempt at intimidation ever.
What kind of PI are you?
Stumbled on the way in.
I know, exactly. It's like, I mean, intimidation is, again, I mean, it's not exactly the strongest skill I have, but bloody hell. I mean, a critical fail. That's just bad. That's just bad form.
So unless there's other issues, I think we can meet up here in 2 weeks for the next session. How about that, guys?
That sounds
2
good
weeks.
to me.
All right.
That's good.
Yeah, if there's any
Let's double check. Sounds good.
if there's any schedule issues before then, do let me know. We'll figure out what to do there. But otherwise, well, I'll see you guys again then. And our beautiful audience, yes, we'll see you again.
Yes.
Thank
Hey for the audience.
you. Yes, and you
Hello,
guys
people.
feel free to pimp your channels, whatever you so choose.
Absolutely.
So, like
Well, if you guys want to see a recording of this at some time this week when I'm done editing and figuring out how I'm doing it, you can search Gepwin on YouTube.
Gepwin, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Drop your linky thing in the chat somewhere, and I will post it into the chat in the thing of the thing.
Wow.
I'll post that into that chat.
Cool.
That's Izixs. That's that. I'm gonna switch back to this because it'll be in the chat then.
Yeah. YouTube.com
I
before
had
that too.
Yes. And then there's that one. There you go. We got so many things.
Excellent.
I really need to have the actual Roll20 chat in the actual stream next time. I did have that on one time, but I've got the stream chat in the stream, so it's taking up space. I'll figure it out. For next episode. But anyway, I'm gonna cut the stream now.
Cool. And
Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you Izixs
Yeah, no
for
problem.
running a tabletop session. It's good. I mean, I've not done GURPS before, so please everyone forgive me, but I think we're all kind of either a bit rusty or a bit new to the system, apart from Izixs, who has
Very
no
new.
excuse
I'm pretty
if
rusty.
he makes a single
Incredibly
mistake.
new.
No, he has no excuse at all. You see, you get a thanks for running it, but now no mercy if you drop the ball. So yeah, and thanks for Gepwin and Jararered for joining me on this little mad adventure where we don't know what the fuck we're really doing. We're about
No.
to get killed.
that's fine.
Okay. Right then,
More
I'm gonna.
interesting if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of know my character to a point, but that's about it. I probably about to get killed in the first round, but you know, we can all have fun. All right, then. I'm going to cut the stream. But yeah, 2 weeks, everybody, from the sounds of it. I'm good in 2 weeks as well. So this stream will be the same time in 2 weeks. People can catch up with what the hell's going on with this. So yeah. Okay, then. Goodbye, streamy people.
Toodles.
Yay.
Goodbye.
Ah.